So if you look at how to drive human performance, you see that if you work on things that give you physical stamina, you also create the energy to think, collaborate, to work with others, to want to work with others, to want to work on difficult problems. When we work on the mental side of our energy, what we're trying to do is create stories of opportunities, because it's these stories of opportunities that makes us see what's possible that we never saw was for. And when we work on spiritual energy, that is the daily connection, the daily connection of what's really important, what our ultimate mission as an individual is and what our ultimate mission as a business organization is. It's not a plaque on the wall. It's something that we're able to talk about, that we want to talk about, that people want to talk about every day. So a few years ago, I was doing consulting for a very large hospital in Northern California, about a $500 million a year hospital. And they had a CEO who was well-intended, grown up in the industry, but the hospital was failing financially. There are three measures that they really paid attention to: the financial side of things, patient satisfaction, and what are called clinical outcomes. When people come to the hospital, do they get cured? Do they get well? Or do they have to come back because they got an infection or something else like that? So they measured all three. 80 or 90% of the time, he talked about the financial condition of the hospital. And it was always about, if we don't improve, heads will roll. Heads will roll. We're all about our patients. We're all about our professional staff. But heads will roll. Things never got better. So finally, his head rolled. A new CEO came in. And I'll never forget, it was a meeting like this. There were about 220 of the top administrators and leaders of the hospital. And he drew this triangle. And he said, this is the world that you've been working in. It's all about financial survival. And then he took the triangle and he just turned it upside down. And he said, this is the new world. The new world, in the new world, our financial performance is non-negotiable. I am going to assume that we are going to do what we need to do to sustain our financial health. And I don't want to talk about it very much. What I want to talk about is patient satisfaction and clinical outcomes. Because if we become world-class at that, I know our financial situation will completely revolutionize itself. I was in that meeting. It was electrifying. See, he told a new story. He went from the old story to the new story, and it's what people wanted to hear. I get to do what I really want to do. And what do you think their buy-in was for financial performance? It was higher than ever. Because here he had a leader who got it. Oh my gosh, I get to work in an organization whose values are the same as mine. Now I'm going to run through walls for the organization. Now we're going to revolutionize everything.